Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Lalita Vishakha Jayo Radha Ras Bihari Jayo Lalita Vishakha Jayo Radha Ras Bihari Jaya Sita Ram Lakshmana Hanuman Sita Ram Lakshmana Hanuman Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado Yasya aprasadana gati kutopi Dayanstuvam stasya Yasya stri sandhyam Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda Yasya prasadat Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jai Om Vishnupat Paramahansa Parivajagacharya Astotra Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Samprada Acharya Guru Var Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Thoda sa. Thank you. That's good. Hare Krishna. So I'm extremely happy and honored to be here amongst you wonderful devotees of ISKCON Juhu, Radha Ras Bihari Temple. And it is so amazing that the congregation here is so enthusiastic. And Narottam Priya Prabhu told me a little bit about your congregation and how you have been meeting every Saturday and Sunday studying Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So the new year is just around the corner. And today's topic is going to be more or less about spiritual New Year's resolutions. And everybody at this time of the year, they make some New Year's resolutions. In this world, there are so many resolutions that people are aspiring or trying to make before the new year rings in, so that the next year would be more fruitful in whatever endeavors they consider as important in their life. Some people say that, okay, I am a smoker, I'm going to give up smoking. Most of the, where I come from in the US and Canada, I would say the highest statistics of New Year's resolution is that is considered very important to them. So I'm going to lose X amount of pounds, or I'm going to uh, jog so much every day, coming forward, looking forward to this New Year's, and so on and so forth. So many resolutions are made, but very few, seldom really, are interested in making spiritual resolutions. And this is something that Srila Prabhupada and in the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or in the line so Rupa means Rup Goswami and Anuga means Anugaman, meaning followers of Rup Goswami. So how much are we really following His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada? We examine ourselves, just not following the four regulative principles, that is not sufficient. Honestly speaking, that is automatically expected. But there are so many things that we can actually do in order to improve and advance in our spiritual lives. And again, we can just, kind of be introspective and examine our own self as to where do we stand and what is it that we can do. There is a famous saying by the one of the most famous presidents of the United States, John F. Kennedy: ask not what you can, what the country can do for you, but what is it that what you can do for the country. If we kind of apply that same slogan for you, but what is it that you can do for Srila Prabhupada? Or also we can apply that to Sri Krishna. Ask not what Krishna can do for you, what is it that you can do for Krishna? That is actually a pure bhakti. Because what is pure bhakti defined? A definition, somebody must have asked Naradji, can you define pure bhakti in probably a few lines? And Naradji, in the Narad Bhakti Sutra, which was adopted, that same verse by Srila Goswami. And what is that verse? Anya vilashita shunyam jnana karma anavrutam anukulyena Krishna anushilanam tat bhaktir uttam. So uttam bhakti is that when we get rid of our negativities, which is jnana and karma also, and any kind of material desires, they should be zero. Because jnana and karma are required only to bring us to the platform of bhakti. If for some reason, if it doesn't bring us to the platform of bhakti, then it's a double-edged sword. We can actually get entangled just like the jnanis and the karmis and miss the boat of pure bhakti. So, yes, like Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives Arjun the Updesh on Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, only all that to bring him to the platform of bhakti. So when Arjun actually is completely despondent and he doesn't want to fight the battle, at that time Krishna starts speaking the Bhagavad Gita and gives him different philosophies and reasons why he should fight. And then eventually he decides to fight. Nashtamo smriti labdha tvat prasadat maya chuta gata sandeha stito asmi karishye vachanam tava. So at that point, he has understood Krishna's heart. Anukul. What is Anukul to Krishna? What does Krishna really want? What is it that will please Krishna? Applying the same slogan of President Kennedy, ask not what Krishna can do for you, what you can do for Krishna, or what I can do for Krishna. So then he understood that this is what Krishna wants. He wants me to kill these people in front of me, then I must do that because it is anukul to Krishna, because Krishna has desired so. So there's no, when previously we all know in the Bhagavad Gita, he has decided wonderful logical reasons, he has given not to fight. Or go to the forest and beg, and instead of fighting over a kingdom, over the blood of my own kin, of my own relatives, my cousins, etc. So many soldiers will be killed and their wives will become widows, and that's not a good thing because in society widows may be taken advantage of. So, like that, so many different wonderful reasons fighting that apparently sounds so great. The other day, I was giving a class in Silvas, Gujarat, and some point came up where a lot of the people who do not understand our Vedic culture or Sanatan Dharma, and Sanatan Dharma from the perspective of Gaudiya Vaishnavas, especially because that's what who we are. So the point that came up is what kinds, if we don't understand our own philosophy very nicely, and if we go to work or if we meet people that are not in ISKCON, and sometimes we find that there are people who are following different faiths, they may ask you that, just out of inquisitiveness or even out of sincere query, that what kind of a God that you have that you all call Krishna who encourages a war? What kind of answer are we ready to give them? Have, who is also known as Krishna, who is stealing? What kind of a God do you have who has more than one, association with more than one women? So this is totally a valid question for those who do not understand Krishna. So we have to first of all make a resolution that we will make a sincere attempt to understand uh, who Krishna is through the eyes, or rather through the ears of His Divine Grace's sincere teachings. And whosoever sits on this Vyasasana uh, is qualified as long as he speaks as it is. So for speakers, our resolution will be that we will make an endeavor to be uh, very sincere to speak as it is without any speculation. Nowadays, we find that a lot of speakers, when we have verses on the Srimad Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, hardly they speak on the actual verse, and they speak on many other things that are not related to the subject. And on the other hand, there are many listeners who do not ask questions that are related to the subject matter or the verse on the board. So we should make a resolution like the rishis of Naimisharanya, who did they appoint as their spokesperson? I heard that you had just finished the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So I'm going to make it a little interactive, if you don't mind. So who did they appoint when they heard who was the first speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam? Loudly, please. Loudly. First speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam. Sorry? Loudly, please. Anybody else? Do you all agree with him? Yes or no? Yes, Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is the first speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord Shiva spoke Srimad Bhagavatam first to Parvati Devi, his own wife. And Sukadeva Goswami, in the form of a parrot, heard Srimad Bhagavatam from Lord Shiva. So, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, we have to make a resolution for the new year that we will become sincere, uh, good oral reception. We tend to be now distracted with so many other gadgets. WhatsApp, for example, we are looking at our messages during Bhagavatam or classes. Why can't we not avoid that? Why we shall make a resolution by first trying to sincerely understand that the holy name is Sri Krishna. Can we all repeat this kindly? The holy name is Sri Krishna. The paraphernalia of Krishna is Sri Krishna. The dham of Krishna is Sri Krishna. So the holy name, the form, the dham, like that, it's paraphernalia, they are actually Sri Krishna himself. So sometimes we chant 16 rounds, some of us chant more than that. But what is the minimum number of rounds that His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada has asked us? Wrong. No. 16 good rounds. So the word is good in between the 16 rounds. So let us all make a spiritual resolution that we will chant minimum 16 good rounds. Does that make sense? Here we are, and when I'm speaking, I'm also telling myself, okay, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, Srila Prabhupada used to quote his Guru Maharaj that he mentioned first to yourself and then to the other. So every time I am given this honor of sitting on this Vyasasana, I internally meditate on that statement. So it is beneficial for me as well, first, and then perhaps to the audience. And certainly, I know I'm not pure. I've got many inebrities. But I know one thing, that I try my best to speak everything as it is, as I have learned from the senior Vaishnavas and learned from His Divine Grace's books. So, how many of us here are reading, listening to Srila Prabhupada's books every day? I want everybody to be very honest and raise their hands. So we have here a room here maybe of approximately 50 or 60 devotees, and I only see about 7 or 8 hands go up. So why don't we all make a resolution that we will try our best to do this every day, whether it is one shloka, or one page, depending. We all have to have that time management. And in our time management, we give so much importance to our work, our business, and those who are students, to their schooling or education. Then why not this? We all want so much from Krishna. Every day we have so many desires, material and spiritual. And there's nothing wrong with even material desires as long as we go to Krishna. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Arti, Artharti, Jnani, and Jigyasa, they come to me. But we have been given admission to the highest college of theism, to the highest college of spirituality, which is we are followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We have to realize one fact, that how fortunate we are that we must have done something right in our last lives, or maybe some kind of sukruti or agyat sukruti that we may have obtained, that we have got this highest fortune of being in this movement. And His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada works so hard to from nothing. He was a completely kind of, we can say, his god brothers rejected him when he came with that idea and request that our Guru Maharaj, His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada, has requested that we should be preaching Bhagavatvani or Gauravani to the English-speaking world. And he found a lot of discouragement on many fronts when he was in the Gaudiya Math, where they said, you join the Math and then we will see. So, but that never deterred him. That never deterred him. If he was not determined and not deterred, do you think we would all be in this room today? Right or wrong? Right? So we have to have some determination, utsaha, dhairya, nischaya, as Rupa Goswami mentions. That's another thing that we can put on our list of resolutions, New Year's resolutions. I'm going to be more enthusiastic. I'm going to be more determined. And I'm going to be more and more patient. We nowadays in the Kali Yuga, only how many years have passed of Kali Yuga? Approximately 5,000 years out of the 432,000 years. It's been described in Srimad Bhagavatam, and I'm sure you went through that verse. Prayana alpa aishya, Prayana alpa aishya rajan. People are what? What are the qualities? Manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya hi upadritaha. People in this Kalyug, the symptoms are they are lazy, manda. Excuse me. Hare Krishna. Sumanda matayo, they are misguided. Manda bhagya, they are unfortunate. We find even in the spiritual domain, so many different people are speaking. If you turn on, what are those channels? Asta, I remember one. Sanskar, is that another one? And so many different channels are there that are 24 hours. How many of them are really speaking uh, the message of Sri Krishna or his pure devotees as it is? Hardly we find, except the devotees of ISKCON who are sincere followers of His Divine Grace. If they are representing ISKCON, then obviously they are speaking everything as it is when they are given an opportunity to speak. But rest of them, it is basically simply speaking about Dharma, Artha, Kam, Moksha, which was kind of rejected by Naradji. Again, I believe you must have gone through those chapters. I think chapter number 5, 6, 7 of the first canto. How Naradji explains his life and how Vyasdev was so despondent that he didn't even understand the reason of his own despondency, about his own sadness, which is very interesting. Supposing if we are sad, we know the reason why we are sad. Say a student has not got good marks and that student is sad. So we can understand that the person is sad. Or supposing somebody lost some money in business or did not do well in business, then there is naturally sadness expected. Or somebody has lost a dear near one, then one is extremely sad. But Vyasdev himself is none other than Mahavishnu. He enacted this Leela of being so despondent and sad that he didn't know his own reason. And Naradji, the spiritual master who comes and opens his eyes, Om Jnanati Virandasya Jnananjar Salakhaya. Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. So he opens his eyes that yes, you have done wonderful. You have compiled all the Vedas. Rig Veda is so exhaustive that you further expounded the Rig Veda into 3 more, Yajurveda, Samveda, Atharvaveda, and then explain the Vedas, Upanishads. You sit next to the Guru and you listen. And what does Vyas mean? Vyas means to expound. So anybody who sits on this seat is known as Vyas. Takes one verse or a chapter or a certain theme and expounds on it. That is called Vyas. And we are talking about here, the name of that particular Vyas was Krishna Dvaipayan Vyas. Krishna Dvaipayan Vyas. So he himself was guided. And he said because he had compiled most of the scriptures that were related were mostly Dharma, Artha, Kam and Moksha. That is the subject matters of the Vedas, predominantly. Not that there was no spirituality, there was some, but it is mixed. Mixed. And why? What's wrong with just Dharma? When somebody says Dharma means good deeds, then they get Artha, money. And we had, when we were very, very young, black and white movie, I forgot the name of the movie, but there was this song, Garib ki tum sunoge, wo tumhari sunega, tum ek paisa doge, wo 10 lakh dega. I don't know how many of you have heard this song. So, that is motivated, that dharma is motivated by, so that we can get more money. Right? A lot of them, the business people or big udyogpatis, industrialists, they go to Tirupati Balaji and they shave their heads and they offer Tirupati 20 lakh rupees either in terms of jewelry or in cash. Why? Because they feel that it is dharma and the result will be artha. And then the next year they offer even more to Tirupati because their turnover has increased multifold. And the following year they offer more. So motivation is dharma's motivation is artha. And when there is so much artha, then we have so many material desires based on how much money we have. Supposing if somebody is only earning 20,000 rupees a month, then within that purview, that person has kama, or desires, right? And sometimes even beyond that, but cannot afford. But immediately that person who is making 20,000 suddenly makes 2 lakh rupees a month, that desires also change, right? Instead of taking a vacation to Mathiran, they will go and take a vacation to Disney World. Desires will change. As an example. So dharma, artha, and kama. So you have got the examples, very simple, very logical. And eventually some of them are extremely intelligent within that. And in spite of them having unlimited wealth, so much wealth that there are many, many generations yet to come, they don't have to worry about even working or doing anything. That much wealth some of them have accumulated, but they are not happy in spite of having. So if all our material desires are fulfilled, even then we find that the soul is not satisfied. What is that beautiful verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam that you all have probably learned? Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adokshaje ahituki apratiyata jena atma suprasiddhati. So let us make a resolution based on this verse. Coming to this verse in a minute. So let's talk about dharma, artha, kam, moksha. So we have understood why most people perform dharma so that they can get artha. And out of artha, the kamna increases. Material desires keep increasing. And for those who are intelligent, they understand that no matter how much money I have got 20 vacations homes ranging from Switzerland to the continent of South America, and all directions I have wonderful, most expensive uh, areas in the world. I have vacation homes, but even then, in spite of all that, I'm not really satisfied. If money could buy everything, can money really buy peace and real happiness? The answer is no. We all know that, but in spite of that, we aspire to obtain more and more wealth. If money was everything, and so many of them are so wealthy, then why do we find in the newspaper or in the news that such and such an extremely multi-billionaire, he killed himself or committed suicide? We find those. How many of you have heard of Robin Williams, an actor in was in Hollywood? He was one of the most amazing comedians. He would make everybody laugh. And you know what at the end happened? He himself was so sad, and so much, I would say unhappy, that he took a belt and he hung himself in his own closet. He gave up his life. Somebody who made the whole world laugh, he himself, behind the curtains, was extremely sad, and he had a lot of money also. Another example of wealth, Michael Jackson. You know how much wealth he had? Billions. He had his own city known as Neverland. Unbelievable. But he could not sleep at night. He was addicted to drugs. And every day he wanted something stronger and stronger so that he could sleep. How unfortunate that one cannot sleep at night. So money cannot buy you sleep either. Forget about happiness. If one is not at peace, or doesn't have a proper angle of life, then it's just sadness. And then eventually he died of an overdose that he had directed one of his doctors to give him. Finished. Such in a young age. So dharma, artha, kama. And those eventually who are dissatisfied in spite of having so much money, they say, I now want a complete peace and I am looking for liberation. Let me hand over everything to my kids. And my wife and I are going to go travel to the places of pilgrimage in search of liberation. Rishikesh, Haridwar, Rameshwaram, Badrikashram, Kedarnath, etc. But what is wrong in this picture? In this dharma, artha, kama, and moksha? I said I'm going to make it a little interactive. What is wrong in this picture of I think everybody agrees with the three first ones, dharma, artha, and kama. But what's wrong with the moksha part? Yes, Mataji.
Finding and the connection to God is like at the end of your life. I mean, when you're very old. So a lot of school of thought is that you look, I mean, you get old, that time you go for pilgrimage. You don't need it. You can connect with Krishna now at your younger age.
Okay, you have made a point, but my question is more specific. What is wrong with liberation? Yes, Prabhuji.
So by trying for liberation in this way, the service attitude towards Krishna will never end, because that liberation is also for satisfaction with the same.
Very nice. I like your answer very much. And the last part, especially, it is all about selfishness. It's about I. I will perform dharma because I will get artha. I will get artha. So my, who is the center again? Me. That I will get more and more material things. And eventually, in spite of having all material things around me, I'm not happy. So I want liberation. So it's I, I, I. It's like saying meh, 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 like a bakri, like a goat. Center is me. Where is the question of center, Bhagwan or Krishna? That's the main point which you highlighted in the last part of your sentence. So there, again, the same. The reason why I'm bringing this up is our resolution should be, my goal is to anukulyena Krishna anushilanam tad bhaktir uttam. We are interested only in uttam bhakti, nothing less than that. We will not be satisfied, just like the chatak bird. What is the importance of chatak bird? That so many times it is used in the Shastra. Anybody, please? First of all, how many of you have heard of the chatak bird? Please raise your hands. Yes, and then somebody was saying, very true, and especially in the Swati Nakshatra. So can you imagine? It will not settle for anything less. With open mouth, it will wait when the clouds are thundering, and it will only accept water that is falling from the rain. It will not go to the lake or to the river or any other body of water. It will rather stay thirsty. And even if it has to die, it will die, but not accept anything less. So this is our principle of, of the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rup Goswami, and in the entire parampara up to the 32nd great personality, His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada in our Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, that we will not accept anything that is less of pure devotion. No Gyan Mishra Bhakti, no Karma Mishra Bhakti, Anya Abhilashita Shunya, Gyan Karma Navratam. Those are the negativities. What's the positive? Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam. Tad Bhakti. So how would we know what is Anukul to Krishna? We are not so fortunate like Arjun that Krishna is directly speaking to us, or Krishna is speaking to the different pure devotees as we find, or his forms are speaking to the different devotees in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So how would we know what is Anukul to Krishna? Because that is our resolution for the new year. How would we know? Yes. And the qualification of our senior devotees is when they are following His divine grace as it is. That is the definition of senior. Not senior by age, or not or how many verses they know. No. That would still be under Gyan category. But pure bhakti is dharma swatattva nihitam guhyam. The the uh, the secrets of pure dharma is extremely it's very, very secret. The concept of pure dharma, mahajana jaina gatha sapanta, when we follow in the footsteps of the great devotees as it is. So that's how we know that how we can please Krishna. So that's how Srila Prabhupada has given us the how you can please Krishna, minimum 16 good rounds. So let us make a resolution, because we are all chanting, are we not? Everybody's chanting in this room, right? Right or wrong? Very nicely. So let's make a resolution that we will chant the holy names as very, very sincerely, good rounds. That's very important. Otherwise, we are always, everybody, wherever we go, we sometimes hear this question that man bhatakta hai. Our minds are simply going hither and thither. How can we control the mind while we are chanting? And the only way to control the mind while we are chanting is, before starting our chanting, we sincerely pray to Harinam Prabhu. My dear Harinam Prabhu, I am full of deficiencies, and you are Nam Chintamani. Nam Chintamani means whatever the holy name, whatever we desire, the holy name gives it to us. None other than a Kalpavriksha. Chinta means whatever we think or whatever we desire. So Chintamani is like a touchstone. Whatever we desire, it gives us. Nam Chintamani. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Vigraha. We have to remind ourselves that the holy name is actually the embodiment of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Chaitanya means it is live, just like we are all Chaitanya. We all have Atma inside our body. Otherwise, without the Atma, we are dead. This body is pronounced dead. So, the holy name is actually a person. The holy name, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, and also Sri Krishna Chaitanya, there are more than one meanings, is actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the holy name. How is it? Let us analyze this really quickly so that our New Year's resolution for chanting minimum 16 good rounds will come to fruition if we understand. What is the Mahamantra? We chant, what do we chant? Loudly. Hare Ram, Hare. So, what does just these two words mean, Hare Krishna? Very simple. It's not a test. I'm sure we have heard some explanations that we. So, anybody? Raise your hand and speak loudly. Yes, Mataji.
Hare means brother and take brother is name along with Krishna.
Very nice. That's one meaning. And that's the general basic meaning, so that it helps even the newcomers. And undoubtedly, of course, the Mahamantra is a bottomless ocean. Even if we try to measure the deepest part of the ocean, we have heard that it is about 40,000, 42,000 feet below the sea level at some of the deepest points. But the Mahamantra has got no bottom. So that's something that we have to we means we even the greatest of the acharyas have realized that it is unlimited. What is that verse of Chaitanya Sistastakam? Nam Nam. No, not that. The prior to that. Cheto Darpana Marjanam Bhava Mahadava Shreya Vidya Ananda Ambudhi Vardhanam. So that Ananda Ambudhi Vardhanam means the product of chanting the holy names is in normal terms. There's more than one meanings. If I don't really have that much time, because if I have to, if I given the opportunity to speak on Chaitanya Sastastakam, probably it will take about at least minimum 25 weeks. Just if I speak 2 hours. So whatever little I know, let's put it that way. So it's so deep. But Ananda Ambudhi Vardhanam. So this Hare Krishna Mahamantra is an ocean that continuously increases. So when something continuously increases, that means it is infinite. So it is infinity. Just to understand that part of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's statement in the Chaitanya Sustastakam. And rightfully you mentioned that Hare Krishna means Hare means Srimati Radharani and Krishna is Krishna. But if we analyze a little bit more, second verse of the Chaitanya Sustastakam, can I share this with you from the Rasik Acharya's perspective? Jiva Goswami has explained that, and many other, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and many other Rasik Acharyas have explained. And every Acharya has got some amazing realizations. Because we cannot say that, no, only this one explanation is perfect and the rest are not. As long as they are coming from that perfect authority, they're all perfect. All realizations are perfect. So, second verse. Let's talk about the second verse very quickly. Nam. Let's stop here. Bahuda. The word is Nija. Let's concentrate on just this one word. Nija Sarvasa. What is that Nija? Nija means what? What does that mean? Very nice. Own. Apna. Right? Now, who is speaking this? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And who is Mahaprabhu? Lord Krishna in the mood of Srimati Radharani. So when somebody who is speaking, let's say as an example, if somebody is visiting your house and you will start introducing your Nija family, your own family. This is my wife, this is my son, this is my daughter, this is my father, this is my mother. That is a part of your Nija, your own family. So when Radha and Krishna are speaking like that, what is the Nija family of Radha Krishna? Please, anybody? Devotees is a general term. No. Sorry? The Vrajvasis. Right? Where do Radha and Krishna eternally reside? In Vrindavan. Right? And even further specific, even within the Vrajvasis, which of them are most dear? Correct. See, now we are getting logically. Right? So, Nija Sarva Shaktis means in the word Hara, all of them are present, and the ultimate is Srimati Radharani. Are you all so far with me? Yes. Otherwise, just think about this. Why is it that the Mahamantra is not Radhe Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Shyam, 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 Radhe Radhe? Why is it that the word Hara is specifically used? So what is one of the lesson that we can learn from the Mahamantra and take a New Year's resolution is let's be very humble. Radharani doesn't want to be first, even in the holy name. Even in the holy name. Even in Srimad Bhagavatam, her name doesn't appear directly because she has directed Sukadeva Goswami not to. Let me take a back seat. So devotional services, and that is why Krishna is most attracted to her. One of the most important qualities she possesses is humility. So let us all make a resolution that we will be more humble. Of course, it's extremely difficult to follow the third verse of Chaitanya Sastastakam. Trinadapi sunichena taro eva saishnanam amanena manadena kirtanya sadahari. But let us try. Let us try hard. Our conditioning will not allow it. But Prabhupada said that let's beat our mind 100 times with shoes or with a broom if we have to do that, because we are so conditioned. So the word Hara is not only Radharani, but all her dear and near, all those gopis in her Swapaksha. There are 4 groups of gopis: Swapaksha, Vipaksha, Suruda, and Tatastha. And here specifically, Nija means the Swapaksha gopis of Srimati Radharani. And that also includes our entire Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, who are actually mainly, they're all very young gopis known as Manjaris. So when we chant Hara, we are first taking the blessings of the entire Parampara. We are in the, there are two methods, Aroha and Avroha. Those who have studied music, Aroha means what? As an example, Sa Re Ga Ma Pa Da Ni Sa, from the lower to the higher notes. And Avroha means descending. Sa Ni Dha Pa Ma Ga Re Sa. So our parampara is first Avroha, Aroha, ascending, where we offer our obeisances and immediately they are offered to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. So if we offer our obeisances to our respective mentors or Vaishnavas, including those who are initiated, to their respective gurus, either Diksha or Siksha, if any guru or any mentor who has really understood our tattva, then they will not keep it with them. They will immediately offer it to the next higher in hierarchy, in order, because keeping something with us, supposing this is offered to some Vaishnava, immediately that has to be immediately offered to the next senior and the senior. And then like that, it goes to the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or to the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. Because the moment we keep it, then our ahankar will increase. This is mine. Srila Prabhupada, when his disciples, and Prabhupada used to sometimes cry when his disciples came and said, Prabhupada, today your Bhagavad Gita as it is has been translated. It just came out of the press in French. And Prabhupada would look at it, the book, and he would cry. He would cry many a time and says, my Guru Maharaj has sent you young boys and girls. Otherwise, what can an old man like me do? So he always gave credit to his Guru Maharaj. His Guru Maharaj, when somebody to him, even his own disciples, he would very, very, in a very soft tone say, Daso Asmi, I am your servant. Even a guru would say that to his own disciple. So that humility must be there. So in Sharanagati, Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has explained the principle of Sharanagati. What does Sharanagati mean? Anybody? It's 50%. What does Sharanagati 100% mean? 50%. Sharanagati is a word that has been in Sanskrit comprised of two. Sharan plus agati. That kind of surrender that is motionless. Gati means to move. And agati means without any motion. So steadfast, like a big rock. Supposing if somebody pushes a mountain, will that mountain move? No. So our surrender should be of that quality where like a mountain or a big rock where be steadfast. Shapadaratam pinashtumam adarshanam marma hatam karotuva yatha tatha va vidhato lampato mat prananathas sa eva napara. 8th verse of Chaitanya Sistastaka. That, oh my dear Krishna, whether you kick me or embrace me, you are my master, birth after birth after birth, or you are forever my master. So that is exactly what Savai Pumsam Paro Dharma, which I mentioned earlier, that the highest dharma of mankind is that pure devotional service to Sri Krishna. Yato Bhaktir Adhokshaje. Krishna is known as one of the names is Adhoksha or Adhokshaja, meaning not very easily conceived by our senses. Aksha means our eyes or our senses, and Adhokshaja means opposite. So we cannot perceive him with our normal material senses. Therefore, it is known as Adhokshaja. So Parodharma, We have so many different dharmas or duties, but Paro Dharma is for human beings, is ultimate, is a service to Sri Krishna, devotional service. And how it should be rendered, that's another resolution we can all make. Ahaituki. Hetu means material motive, and ahaituki means no material motive. And what is the second criteria of pure bhakti? Apratihata. It should be uninterrupted. Not that today we have some difficulty, we will come to ISKCON Juhu more often, and immediately when the difficulty is over, then see you on Janmashtami only. Hare Krishna. So it has to be ahaituki apratiyata. What does Bhakti Vinod Thakur say in his bhajan? Gai Gora Madhura Sware. Sukhe dukhe bhulo na ko, vadane hari naam karo re. Whether in sukh or whether in dukh, we should always chant the holy names. We should always. That is the criteria of. And then what is the ultimate result of that? Jena Atma Suprasidati. What does that mean? That's one meaning. Very nice, Mataji. What is the second meaning? Here the word Atma, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains, means Paramatma. So then Paramatma means Sri Krishna. He will be very pleased with that kind of devotion. See, that is Vyasa. How nicely our Acharyas expound. And we are so fortunate. Again and again I say, one of the resolutions that every day we must make when we wake up, my dear Srila Prabhupada, somehow or the other you have brought me to ISKCON. I'm so fortunate. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada. Thank you. Every day we must sincerely thank him for that. What is it, the last verse of our Gurvastakam or Mangalarti? Last two lines. Dhayan stuvams yashastri sandhyam vande guru Sri Charanaravindam. What does that mean? See, one of the things that I humbly request all devotees, especially some of us have been regularly attending programs and Bhakti Shastri and Bhakti is what you call weekly programs, Bhakti Vriksha and Sanghas. Try to understand the meaning of our everyday artis. And please, I request you all learn Vaishnava bhajans. Learn their meaning. I'm not saying not necessarily that one may know it verbatim, word by word, but at least know the essence. Because we also have to learn how to pray sincerely. And how do you learn? You can only learn that from pure devotees. So what are those Vaishnava songs? They are pure prayers of the great souls, of the great Vaishnavas. Just like the little children, they imitate the parents. Whatever, if we give them good sanskaras at home, they will imbibe that. And if our environmental home is not that great, then they will also imbibe those qualities. So we are also children in our devotional stage. So why don't we learn what the big devotees like Thakur Bhaktivinoda, Narottam Das Thakur, etc., how they are praying. So knowing the meaning will definitely help us when we chant those prayers. Just mechanically doing it is also good in one sense. It will always bring some auspiciousness in our life. But if we know the meaning, then as they say in Hindi, Pacho ingli ghee mein, sar kadai mein. So we have to, so Dhyan Stuvams Yashastri Sandhyam. Who will explain the meaning of those two lines very quickly? Again, it's not a test, please.
I offer my prayers to Guru 3 times a day.
Okay, the word dhyan means I meditate, I think about. So I think about the Acharya, and actually, a lot of us make this mistake by saying Vande Guru Sri. It's Guru Ho. It is plural, Bahuvachan. So when we limit ourselves by using the word Guru, then mentally we will only think of our Guru. our initiating spiritual master. And I really share this example. So that's one of the resolutions that we can make. I like to give this example. Previously, especially when even in my childhood, I've seen, I grew up in Bombay, by the way, not too far. This is Juhu Chopati. I grew up by Charney Road, which is the other Chopati. And Chopati temple was only 5 minutes away. It did not exist at that time. As a matter of fact, when I kind of remind, I used to go to Bharatiya Vidyabhadam College before I went to the US. And my coaching classes were right by Prabhupada's Vyasasan. Where I sat was my physics and maths class. That's where my bench was. So they were divided into rooms. Bhola's classes was right there. And the first classroom next to the stairs was my classroom for physics and mathematics. So I used to take coaching in that after my regular college hours. And where Srila Prabhupada's Vyasasan is, every time I go to Chopati, I remember that, that's where I sat. I was the last bencher, by the way. So, with some or the other, anyways. So, what was my point prior to that? That, huh? So when they grow, so what I was saying is, even in our childhood we have seen that joint families used to exist. I don't know, nowadays it's very difficult to find such an environment where the joint families had many uncles, many aunts, grandfather, grandmother, and at least easily sometimes 15 to 20 members in that family, including children. Now, can you imagine that, supposing in that joint family, when a child is born, how much love that child receives from everybody, not only from their father and mother, but it is extended, with all the uncles and all the aunts and all the elder cousins that are there, their cousins, the brothers and sisters in the family. So they all get so much love. But nowadays, we find that the whole trend has changed. When the boy and girl want to get married, sometimes the girl's parents or the girls ask that, do you have your own place to stay? Then I will consider a marriage proposal. Uh, I like to mention this. This is where our society has degraded so much. In Canada, one of the persons, I live in Canada and the US, both places, but hardly in Canada nowadays. I travel quite a bit. My wife and I, we are retired, so we try to serve Srila Prabhupada as much as we can. So, um, one of the young boys, they came to meet us, and they said that, uncle, auntie, I got engaged. I said, okay, great, congratulations. Who's the lucky girl? So he explained all this, and then he mentioned that how he had seen so many proposals, many girls, etc. And the question that one of the families posed to him, actually the girl posed, that how much garbage do you have in your family? Like, sometimes they're given an opportunity to ask questions to each other, right? So he didn't understand what does that mean by how much garbage. So then somebody, his sister, explained in his ear what he means. What she's asking is, garbage means your father, your mother, your sister-in-law. Do you have any younger brothers and sisters, etc.? This is the situation. So if you have garbage in your family, I don't want to get married to you. Sorry. Do you have your own place? And and only way I will get married is, if you have your own place. Now, why I'm bringing this point up, there's a connection here to the main point that I'm trying to bring, and the resolution that we all should make for the new year. So, let's say the boy and girl get married and they have their own place, and now they have their children. Let's say a daughter or a son is born to them. What kind of love do they get? They only get the love from the father and mother, because hardly they are going to the uncles or aunts, etc. Previously, I still remember, when we were very little, On Diwali day, we used to wake up at 4 in the morning, and along with my siblings, we used to go visit all the uncles and all the aunts, and it would take up to 11 a.m. by the time we could come home, and it was just such a festive thing. And we came home with a big bunch of envelopes. Because everybody with a lot of love would give us that, the blessings, with some Lakshmi. So it was such a real festival, but nowadays it's all gone. Nobody really visits anybody's homes. Things have changed. So the thing is that love is only limited to that father, specifically the father and mother. But if they were in the joint family, so much love is received with they receive from uncles and aunts. So similarly, if we just limit ourselves to one particular guru or one particular person as our only guide and only and the rest of them like a horse has blinders, if we keep that, then we are missing out on their love and affection and so much kripa that we can receive from them. But let's be very sincere and honest. Our initiating spiritual master is very busy. Most sannyasis in our great movement, they're traveling, and hardly we get to see them once a year or 2 times a year. And even if they are coming to our temple, how much time do we really get to spend with them? Let's be very analytical and very honest. Sometimes hardly 30 seconds we get to meet them one on one. Sometimes we have a dilemma, we have a question for Guru Maharaj. How do we really approach them? Because there's a big line of many devotees, and we cannot ask those questions, personal questions, in a Srimad Bhagavatam class. And even in a Srimad Bhagavatam class, if we have some general questions, only 3 or 4 questions are taken. Then it's time for Mahaprasade Govinde. Right? So, so where do we look forward to for our guidance? This is a question that we have to ask. That is why Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Vande Guru Ho Sri Charanara. It is plural. Our Bhagavad Parampara, we are in Bhagavad Parampara in Gaudiya Vaishnavas. And Bhagavad Parampara has got a lot of importance on Siksha Guru. Even more so than Diksha Guru. Otherwise, let's ask ourselves this question. Who is the Siksha Guru of Srila Gaur Krishna Babaji Maharaj, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur? He's not the initiating spiritual master. So here we find that it is so important. Who is the Siksha Guru of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur? Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. He is not the Diksha Guru. Bhaktivinoda Thakur ji took Diksha from another spiritual master. But today we find that whether Gaudiya Math or ISKCON, we find the photographs of those acharyas, because there it shows. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never initiated Rup Sanatan Goswami, but gave them Siksha. And even in Siksha, we find that when we speak the Pranam Mantra of Rup Goswami as an example, what is it, please? What does it mean? Sri Chaitanya Mano Abhishtam. Where is the mana? Mana is in the core of the heart. So that personality who established Mano Abhishtam, the desires of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that are in the core of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's heart. And who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again? Krishna in the mood of Srimati Radharani. So he established the innermost desire in the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rup Goswami. When will this great personality give me shelter at his lotus feet? So it is so important that we all have to become Kripa Patra. Recently I heard, and this is, I don't know how many of you all heard this interview between Sripad Vinod Baba of Barsana and Satchitananda Maharaj. Did you see that on WhatsApp? Just a few days back, maybe 2-3 weeks ago, where His Holiness Satchitananda Maharaj is asking Vinod Babaji about how to chant the holy name nicely. That was the essence. And in that conversation, Sripad Binod Baba, who is a very, very exalted Vaishnava, Gaudiya Vaishnava, who is eternally residing in Barshana Dham, and he mentioned, he speaks a little bit about Kripa. He says, Kripa is always there. It is not that we have to ask for Kripa. And this is an amazing fact that even I learned, and it's a nice eye opener. Let's put it that way. That Kripa is always there when it comes to Radha and Krishna or from the pure devotees. Uh, it is not, but we do not accept it enough. Prabhupada also mentions this in a different way. He has mentioned the same thing, that the mercy of the spiritual master is exactly like the sun, Suraj. It shines equally upon everyone and every place, whether it is mountains or it shines on the rivers, on the lakes, in the valleys, everywhere. The sun shines his light equally. But what can the sun do if someone refuses to come out into the light? If someone refuses to come out and somebody wants to just stay in the dark room and not come out, what can the sun do? So similarly, the spiritual master, Radha Krishna, and the pure devotees, they always have, it's not that if we ask, we will receive that. No, they always have it. But we, excuse me, we have to become good kripa patras. Patras means vessel. Supposing you go to the milk person, dudwala, and you take one katori, maximum he can fill it is the katori. You take a bigger vessel, uh, then he can fill it up to that. If you take a much bigger vessel, he can fill it up to that. So we have to uh, become bigger and bigger vessels of receiving kripa. And that is what the word Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaran means from Rasik angle in the Chaitanya Sistastakam first verse. That when we are completely purified of our anarthas, Cheto Darpana Arjanam, Bhavadava, Bhava Mahadava Agni Nirvapanam, all the negativities are removed. And when our heart becomes crystal clear, like the lily, Kairava, that blossoms in the Poonam or the moonlight. And that moonlight is considered as Lord Nityananda. Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Shushi Te Chaya Jagata Judai Heno Nitai Vine Bhai Radha Krishna Pai Tenai Dhrida Gori Dharo Nitai Pai. So Lord Nityananda, who is the Adi Guru, who is the source of all Sadgurus, he sends those beams of Kripa, and he sends it through the transparent via medium of all those great acharyas, and it reaches our clean heart. And what does that happen at that time? When there is a beautiful clean mirror, what happens when the light beam falls on it? 100% of the light beam reflects without any without any loss, without any loss. Similarly, when our hearts, when we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra nicely, our hearts are completely cleansed, and the Lord Nityananda's mercy directly comes from the spiritual sky through our acharyas, and it enters our heart. And then what happens? What is amazing thing happens? That it is a Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. Vitaranam means it radiates. It comes into our heart and it starts radiating, and that radiation of that kripa means compassion radiates through us for other beings. That is a Vaishnava. That we share that information as it is, that we have received without any loss or diminution. And we share that with and then what happens? Vidyavadhu Jivanam. What does Vidyavadhu Jivanam means? What does that mean? Loudly, please.
Vidya is knowledge.
Yes.
Vidya Vadu is wife of knowledge.
Very nice. But
The wife of knowledge.
what does that knowledge mean? But what does that knowledge mean? Material knowledge? No. Transcendental knowledge. And Vidyavadu Jivanam also means that when we are so purified and we come to the platform, first is Adu Shraddha, then Tatha Sadhu Sang, next Bhajan Kriya, then Anartha Nivriti, then Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav, and Prema. These are the different stages. So the second last stage is Bhav. And in Bhav stage, actually the real bhakti starts, pure bhakti starts at the point of Nishtha. Because until our anartha nivritti does not happen, pure bhakti is not. We will remain as sadhaks, but we will not enter Raganuga bhakti. And Raganuga bhakti actually starts after asakti. So the other two stages prior to that will prepare us for Raganuga bhakti. What does Raganuga bhakti mean? Anugama means to follow, and Rag means deep attachment. Who has the highest and deep attachment for Krishna? The Vrajvasis. So that is Raganuga Bhakti. And when we reach the stage of Bhav in this particular body, we will get the Ekadash Bhav. It is revealed to us. Chakshudana Dilojayi Janme Janme Prabhu Sayi Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito.